Good morning, dear students. I hope you all are fine. We started with insurance topic, chapter 4, business services. Today we are going to discuss about the principles of insurance. Principles means the rules of the insurance. All the contract of insurance is based on these principles. We have 7 principles which we are going to discuss one by one. First principle of insurance is utmost good faith. It is a contract between an insurance company and the person who is getting it insured. It is important that both the parties should disclose each and every fact to each other. So both the parties, the insurer and the insured, should display good faith towards each other in regard to the contract. It is obligatory on the part of the insured to disclose all the material facts about the subject to be insured. For example, Ramesh took a life insurance policy from LIC. However, while taking the policy, he did not disclose about the heart disease. Later on, if he died because of the heart attack, LIC is not liable to pay any compensation in this case. Utmost good faith means that both the parties should be loyal to each other, should disclose each and every fact to each other. If they are not, anyone is not disclosing, then the contract will become null and void. Second principle of insurance is insurable interest. See, this is sure that when you are getting something insured, then you have some interest in that thing. Now, what does interest means? A person is said to have insurable interest in the property if he will be adversely affected by its destruction. Means, for example, I have a car, I will be having insurable interest in my car and I will get it insured. Okay. Secondly, when for example one bank person, for example Ram, has taken loan and for as a security he has given his house as mortgage. Okay, now bank directly is not having any insurable interest in Ram's house, but because if Ram will not pay the loan, then the bank is going to suffer. So that's why in that situation bank can get the house of Ram insured. So insurable interest means that you should be affected by the by that particular subject matter which will be affecting directly or indirectly to you. So the insured must have an interest in the preservation of the thing or life insured, so that she will suffer financially on the happening of this event. So in case of insurance of property, insurable interest of the insured in the subject matter of the insurance must exist at the time of happening the event. For example, my car got destroyed because of accident. When I am claiming the policy, then for the compensation, then I should have insurable interest that time. So in case of in order to name insurable interest, however, it is not necessary that one should be the owner of that property. For example, a trustee holding property on behalf of others has an insurable interest in the property. Then third principle is indemnity. The purpose of this principle is to put the insured in the event of loss in the same position that he occupied immediately before the happening of the event. Means, for example, if my car is destroyed in the accident, then insurance company is promising me that they will give me car in the same position which was before the accident. This principle is not implemented in case of life insurance because life cannot be compensated. Okay, so but here is one more condition, that whatever loss is, first thing is that when you are getting things insured, your subject matter of the policy should be matched with the loss which is happening. For example, if a person has insured his house against fire for rupees 1,50,000 and he suffers a loss of 1 lakh, then insurer will pay him 1 lakh, not 1,50,000. Secondly, for example, a person has got the insurance of his house from fire for rupees 1,50,000, but the loss is happening because of the theft. Then also insurance company will not pay anything because whatever incident has happened is not matching with the subject matter of the policy. Means policy you have taken for fire and loss is happening because of theft. In that case also you will not get anything. Secondly, you will get compensation whatever you have insured. For example, you have insured for 1,50,000, you will not get compensation more than that. Next principle is proximate cause. We can also call it nearest cause. For example, you got the things insured, and now for example it is basically made for the marine insurance. For example, your ship is going for the voyage to distributing goods to another country. You have taken insurance from water, okay? So but now when the goods are destroyed, there can be many reasons to destroy the goods. So you have to find the nearest cause. Nearest cause should be matched with the policy. For example, you got the insurance of the goods from water, okay, but you have come to know that because there was a leakage of gas, firstly fire happened, then there was a hole in the ship, and then water also came. So you have to find out the nearest reason. If the nearest reason is water, then only you will get the compensation. If the nearest reason is something else, maybe loss has happened from many reasons, so you have to find nearest reason, and that should be matched with the insurance which you have taken for the goods. This is another principle of insurance, subrogation. It means that, for example, your car has damaged, okay, and you got the insurance, you got all the amount from the insurance, and whatever scrap of the car is left, now owner of that scrap will be insurance company. This principle says that you cannot be in a better position. How? For example, you have taken the compensation, okay, now whatever is left over of the car, whatever it was damaged, some scrap will be there, and that scrap can be sold. Now that money will go to insurance company, not to the owner, because owner has already taken the compensation from the insurance company. So it refers to the right of the insurer to stand in the place of the insured after settlement of the claim, as far as the right of insured in respect of recovery from an alternative source is involved, after the insured is compensated for the loss or damage to the property insured. The right of ownership of such property will pass to the insurance, to the insurance company. Means whatever is left over, you cannot claim that because you have already taken the compensation. This is another principle of contribution. According to this principle, if someone is taking more than one policy of same property, so the person cannot be in a better position. For example, I have a car's cost is rupees 10 lakh, okay, and I got it insured from the three insurance company. I have taken the policy. Now for example, loss of 2 lakh happens because of some accident. Now I cannot claim 2 lakh from all the insurance companies. Means in this way too I will be getting 6 lakh and I will be in a better position. So this principle says that you cannot claim more than the actual loss happened to you. So if you have taken policy from 4 companies and losses of 2 lakh, then you can claim 50,000 from each company, or you can claim only 2 lakh from one company. So it's better to take only one policy. So if you are investing in more than one policy, it will be of no use. This principle is not implemented in life insurance, because in life insurance you can take policy from more than one company. So this principle says that the amount of compensation should not exceed the amount of loss. You cannot be in a better position by claiming from all the parties. This is last principle of insurance, that is mitigation. Mitigation says that you have to take care of your property from the loss. So according to this principle, it is a duty of the insured to take reasonable steps to minimize the loss or damage to the insured property. For example, you have a fire insurance policy and you know that fire is going to spoil these products. Then as a responsible person, you should take that product from that. For example, you have a godown in the area where you know that government has already announced floods can come in that area. So it is a responsibility of you to take out the goods from that godown so that you can save that. It's not that you are thinking that you got the insurance company, then why to bother, insurance company will pay me. So this principle says that you have to reasonably care your products. If reasonable care is not taken like any prudent person, then the claim from the insurance company may be lost. So you cannot claim in insurance compensation in that case. Dear students, must revise them properly. We will be discussing them in detail in our live lecture also. Thank you. Have a nice day.